we like to look at a business holistically, and at the center of that is a business plan. And so being able to articulate your mission, your vision, what are the products and services that you're going to sell? Do you know what you're going to sell them for? This is a question we get a lot. How much should I sell my product for? Yeah. What we really don't want is somebody 5 years down the road to be struggling and say, man, I wish I'd known about you guys a few years ago. Yeah. I like to tell folks, if you get 5 hours of complimentary service with us in the first year, you're 5 times more likely to be in business in 5 years. So I call that my Arby's deal, 5 for 5. So you come and spend 5 hours with us, you might be open in 5 years from now if you want to be.
Brandon, thank you for joining us on Design to Help Your Business Grow. I'm Robin Pasley, and you are...
Brandon Eldridge.
Eldridge?
Yes. Yeah.
So glad that you're here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about your background. What have you done, and
oh boy,
tell me what you do now.
So, do I start where I was conceived, or how far back do we go?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was kind of open-ended with that.
Yeah.
Tell me what you do now and what got you into that.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, my name is Brandon Eldridge. I'm the executive director for the Colorado Small Business Development Center serving Pikes Peak, which is a mouthful to say. So we oftentimes just call us SBDC, or if you're in the community and I say, if you're an SBDCer, that works for me too. But SBDC is a network of about 1,000 offices across the country where we provide free one-on-one support to businesses. And then we do low-cost workshops. Sometimes they're free workshops, but we try and keep it accessible from a cost standpoint and just provide as much curriculum and subject matter experts to our businesses as we can. That's awesome. And I came from a banking background, so I'm a recovering banker. Did a lot of business loans, a lot of lending, and spent a large part of my career at Chase Bank, where they're more of a retail bank, at least from where I was at, and really started to learn more and more about this community. I lived here for 30 years in Colorado Springs, but it's probably been the last 10 years that I really ramped up my networking and getting active in the community. Awesome. So,
what did you do? What about you and the way you're wired put you into banking and then small business expertise?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm probably the biggest extrovert in town. So there's not anybody here that I don't want to meet.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy people. I just enjoy community. I have a major sense of FOMO, and I just want to be at all the places and all the things. SBDC has really allowed me to do that. We have 9 different chambers in our community. We have a really awesome Visit COS. We have a downtown partnership. We have a really great BBB. And so when you combine the chambers, the small business resources, and the exponential impacts of the world, I mean, there's just so many opportunities to connect with the entrepreneurship community. And it's my lane. So I love going to these events and supporting small business and finding that entrepreneur that feels lost, but probably is pretending that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's where we get to help and give them that support. Yeah.
So you're a social butterfly, and you get paid for it.
That's right. Yeah, what a great job, right?
Seriously, I want that.
And I'm an educator at heart. I love teaching and being a mentor and supporting others. Yeah. And SBDC, being heavy on curriculum, we do about 100 workshops a year. And so every once in a while, I get to put on my facilitator cap and teach a couple classes here and there. So it allows me to flex in different ways and not just, networking is fun, and we can all go to events, and it's nice to know people, but it's really about the work that goes on behind the scenes and what kind of impact are we really having? How are we creating jobs? How are we supporting, growth of a small business, not just who do you know and how do you, find the next networking event?
Yeah. Now, how did we get connected?
Oh, gosh. So your husband, HB, and I go back a few years now.
Okay.
I know at one point when he was working for a different firm, they were doing exit planning.
Oh, yeah.
And so HB and I kind of started talking about what does that look like. As a recovering banker, Sometimes it's silly, awesome. I know. Sometimes businesses get to a point where they're ready to exit, and that's more complex than it may sound on the surface. And so finding mature resources in that lane is important. And so he and I connected over that, and it was really a beautiful friendship. You have an awesome husband, so I like him a lot.
Well, I know that we really connected on our affection for small business owners.
Yeah.
And just wanting to see them succeed, because it's really what gets me out of bed in the morning is thinking about how to help them and how to think with them. I was talking to somebody else he's in the design build industry, and we were having lunch, and he started talking about how when he is going to build something for someone, he begins asking them all these questions about their business formation and all this. And a lot of times they're like, why are you asking me this? He's like, because I want to see you succeed.
Right.
And it's not that I think I know more than them, but I want to kind of get in their head and find out, like, how do you think about the growth of your business? How do you even think about your sales structure and how you train people and how people in your company meet the public and, all these different pieces and parts, because we want to come alongside and gird them up, and kind of help them do what they're doing with the tools that we have.
Yes.
And a lot of times, if I understand that, I might be able to go, ooh, what if we laid out your space this way? Because the way you're talking about it, I think this is going to really help you. Or what if we added this component for your employees? Or sounds like this might really help them if we, created some kind of space for them. And to be able to think along with them sounds like kind of what you do as well.
I know that you deal with place-based, but you're trying to create an environment where a client or an employee feels included, feels comfortable in that space, right? And maybe a hotel might be different than a lounge or a bar, right? And so I know that you specialize in that, and I think that approach from an organization like yours is really, really important. Yeah. It's like you're an extension of a marketing arm of an organization, especially if it's a place-based organization. So marketing agencies oftentimes do that, and they talk about what colors speaks to your business and what logos or symbols represent you and what you're looking to convey to your clients. Similar to that, like the core of our work is about business plans and helping somebody think very intentionally about what is my vision, what do I see when I close my eyes and think about the future, and then helping them put that on a piece of paper and be able to tell that story. A lot of times it's, because they need to see it and they need to feel it. Sometimes it's because they need to go to a bank or a lender and ask for money to help get some seed money. Or to a VC, or maybe to your parents and say, I need to borrow some money because I have this really great business idea. And mom and dad say, yeah, sure. You say, no, seriously, look, I went to the SBDC and we made a business plan.
Yeah, so that's one of the tools that you guys can help people with is business plans. What other kind of tools do you guys have?
Well, we like to look at a business holistically, and at the center of that is a business plan. And so being able to articulate your mission, your vision, what are the products and services that you're going to sell? Do you know what you're going to sell them for? This is a question we get a lot. How much should I sell my product for? And so we're using these tools to inform a full business plan, or in some cases, what we call a pro forma. So a pro forma is where you sit down and you design what are your cash flows going to look like over the next 2 to 5 years. So all of the advisors at the SBDC are free to use. And you just go to our website, you sign up, and you start getting sessions. And you start with a generalist, and then you start drilling in from there. Maybe you are a chiropractor who just graduated college, and you're going to go out and start doing your product, but you never run a business before. So you've never done marketing, and you don't think like a marketing person, right? So we give you somebody who knows marketing and teaches you what a geofence is, or what a real marketing strategy looks like, and how to spend money intentionally.
So how would you describe your ideal client at the SBDC?
Obviously, any entrepreneur is welcome. So we take anyone from startup to exit planning. I will say about 80% of the clients we serve are in that pre-revenue or in that first year of business. And what we really don't want is somebody 5 years down the road to be struggling and say, man, I wish I'd known about you guys a few years ago. So as early in the entrepreneurial cycle as we can get you, the better off we can be, because then the more you know about our services, the more you're willing to invest some of that time with us.
Yeah.
I like to tell folks, if you get 5 hours of complimentary service with us in the first year, you're 5 times more likely to be in business in 5 years. So I call that my Arby's deal, 5 for 5. So you come and spend 5 hours with us, you might be open in 5 years from now if you want to be. When you think about a hub, a small business hub, we're not going to be the ones that always helps that business. But we want to be the hub. We want to be the place where you come to and say, okay, what sprocket of the hub do you need to go to today?
Right.
Because if you're putting up a new sign in front of your store, you're going to need a sign permit and you're going to need to talk to the city. And so we make sure that we help you connect those dots.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, Robin, you talked a little bit about your business model and helping some small businesses create a experience. And I know, talking with HB and about your business model, I know that you guys have been dealing with a lot of restaurants. We help a lot of restaurants.
Right.
What are you seeing in that space that might help us from an SBDC standpoint?
Yes. Gosh, launching a new restaurant, there's so many things. I mean, all of the back of house there's a number attached to that, like as far as investment goes.
Okay.
And so what I would say is, don't forget the front of house. That thing, because, everyone is looking for an experience these days. I think to remember that people aren't coming in just for sustenance. They're coming in for an experience. And finding some kind of partnership, of course, we want to be that for them, to help craft that experience. That will make them come back.
Really great. And I'm now starting to go through all the restaurants that I've ever been to. Like, what's my front of office, or what's my front experience?
Yeah.
And I will say, like, when I walk into particularly a restaurant and I can see behind the curtain and things are out of place, you kind of have that itchy feeling of, am I going to have good, clean food? Or, so that first impression might level set somebody walking into a restaurant. Do you guys, when you do that, do you do a deep dive of, like, you mentioned history or maybe concepts? Like, how does that process unfold for you guys?
Absolutely. So, well, because of the branding side of what we do, we often want to talk to them and find out, like, because people think a brand is a logo, and it's really not. A logo should be representative of the story, which is the brand. And that's what we do, is we drill down with them and deep dive into their story. What is this all about? Who are you? Who's this company? Drawing out what is in someone else, which is one of my favorite things about the way I'm made is, and my husband too. He's our chief branding officer, and he's wired this way too. He just loves to pull out what's in someone else's heart. What made you want to do what you're doing? Because to me, that's really important about that business. It wouldn't exist without them. Right?
We talk about earning the right to a business plan.
Oh,
so when you talk about pulling that out, instead of sitting in front of ChatGPT and just unloading, like pulling out a physical pen and paper and writing down your ideas. We've had a couple advisors that talk about this, earning that right. So that's what it means, is it's not just letting a software, design your business plan just because you need one because the bank said it.
Right.
Versus pulling out those ideas
really
and getting
smart.
very authentic about your business.
It's really smart.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest obstacle you've seen this year in what you guys do?
Oh, gosh. Well, this AI evolution is changing the way businesses are operating. And it's a delicate balance because we've talked about creatives. And I think it's hard because we want to be sensitive to the fact that there's an entire industry dedicated to creating things, whether it be flyers and images or brands and narratives or text. There is a lot of industry that's being impacted by this.
Totally.
And I'm sensitive to that, but I'm also sensitive to the fact that a lot of our businesses need efficiencies and they need to keep up.
Absolutely. Yep.
And the challenge right now is that a lot of corporations, early in the AI, a couple years ago, I started to hear, well, AI will help level the playing field for small business. And I struggled with that because I'm thinking, well, aren't the big businesses also investing? So it's not that it's leveling the playing field, it's helping you keep pace.
Yeah, keep up.
And that's terrifying because for every dollar you spend on AI in your organization, the big organizations are probably $100 in.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
So being intentional, spending a little bit of time, if not every day, every week, investing some time and knowledge into that
Yes.
new, I guess, industry.
Yeah.
That's going to be very important because if you are a small business and you want to streamline some of your work, whether that be a marketing plan or outreach or I don't, there's just so many ways to use AI. You got to be intentional about it, number one. Number two, I'm sensitive to our creative industry in that I still want to use graphic designers. I still want to use people and have that human touch to what we do. That's been a reconciliation with myself and how we use it at SBDC. So it's a challenge. People are investing time in it, and it's obviously a hot thing right now.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it for a couple years now. We've had some classes. Our partnership with the BBB is very strong. So, this year we'll have our second annual AI Summit for small business.
Okay.
And last year when we did it, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I'll be fair. I'm kind of a nerd and a geek in this way. I love it. I think it's so neat what it can do. But I also want to be responsible with it.
Yeah. I was thinking about how if you can't use the tools that are coming up, you're going to be left in the dust.
Yeah.
However, we're all flesh and blood. And I think that human beings are always going to want something influenced by a human, And I
Yes.
think it's just the same way that my kids, they can spot AI images and video so fast. And that's just going to it's going to get better. But
Yes.
we're also, I think, going to keep wanting some more human investment in it. We're going to want more connection with one another. So what are your clients or people that you work with consistently overlooking outside of this thing we just talked about?
Well,
Is there anything else?
I think recently as in like the pandemic timeframe, mental health became a big topic, and it's slowly kind of the pendulum swings.
Yeah.
And I think it's just important for us as entrepreneurs to find balance in our own lives and then also in those that we have influence on. So if you have staff and you have people around you or contractors that's supporting your mission, just finding intentional ways to find balance. And I know some folks will say the word balance is, arbitrary, but whatever that looks like for you as a business owner, just being intentional. I think it's very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of that. So we started once a month doing a webinar about mental health and resiliency and building great company culture. And what does that look like? So we've been spending time on that. People always come to us for access to capital, marketing, and recently AI. And so there's so many other ways to run a business. And I think HR and balance is one of those things that I don't want people to overlook.
Wow, those are two big topics there. The balance for the healthy workforce and HR in itself it's just a whole ball of wax,
Well, and I think that's why leadership programs are very important. So when you look at Leadership Pikes Peak or CSLI or Adelante Institute or all of these organizations that are doing leadership, that's really important as an entrepreneur. I was blessed that I could be a manager of people before I got to SBDC. So I've been able to manage people and know the challenges of what that looks like. And not every entrepreneur's had that privilege. And so now you're hiring employees and you're having to lead people and you've never done it before. Or maybe you have, but just never really been taught really how to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think leadership it's a journey where you have to think of others sometimes before yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's where that balance comes in, is how are you taking care of yourself too?
Oh, that's right on. You have so many great resources. How does the small business that's coming to Colorado Springs or that's here already and has just been dreaming, how do they get a hold of you and your team?
So we really like it when you go to our website. So it's www.pikespeak, sbdc.org, and just sign up. It's very easy. We've made it very easy for folks to find us and get access to us. When you sign up for a session, within 24 hours, somebody on my team reaches out, says, tell me your journey, tell me your story. And we might introduce you to some online curriculum, maybe our startup day. We do a startup day the first Tuesday of every month, where you get lunch, you get to come hang out with other entrepreneurs, get introduced to our advisors, and I like to say it's our soup to nuts on how to start a business.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and usually people who've been in business for about up to a year find tremendous value. So even if you've already started, come hang out with us for a day, and learn some things that maybe you haven't implemented, and you can pivot. And if you haven't started, great, then that's no better time.
Yeah.
But I love that idea phase. I call it the epiphany season. So the season of epiphany, where you just get struck with that idea that you want to do it. You now have it, and you can't stop thinking about it. You obsess over your passion, right?
Yes.
So your epiphany phase is a great opportunity to come hang out with us at SBDC.
Okay.
Because we're going to help you sort through all of those ideas, see if it's really viable, and maybe help you in the long run preserve some relationships. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Brandon, thank you so much for coming on our show today and for sharing what you guys do. It's super important for business owners.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If you need to create an unforgettable experience, then Branded Interior Design is your secret weapon, because we don't do boring. Designed to help your business grow, Pasley Commercial Interiors.